Hi, I'm Dyan Twining with Roost Root. I'm here in my garden in Texas, and even though it's the heat of the summer, I am starting to think about a fall garden. I wanted to share with you today my 3 steps to starting your very own fall garden. Today, I'll show you what you need to start your seedlings, when and how to replant those seedlings correctly, and post-care tips. Before we jump into this easy 3-step guide to starting your fall garden, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay in the loop of future video releases. With all that being said, let's head into the greenhouse. So I already have a few things laid out that we're going to be using today. First is our seed flats. I love these seedling trays. You can see they have silicone on the bottom, which allows you to really easily pop out the seedling when it's time to transplant it to a larger pot. I have my label and my pen, so I know exactly what I planted in which flat. I have my secret planting tool, which is a pencil, and of course my seeds. And lastly, here I have my pre-soaked coconut coir, which is what I'll be using to put inside my seedling trays. So let's get started planting our fall garden. So I have here some broccoli seeds, and I've already gone ahead and used my pencil to make my 1/4 to 1/2 inch holes throughout here, and I'll go ahead and drop in 2 or 3 seeds in each hole. There we go. And then I will just take my finger and just lightly cover the seeds here. I want to bury them too much. Okay, so I have learned that before I go any farther, I don't do anything else, I go ahead and make my label. Because obviously once the seed is planted, I can't tell what is what, and it even takes quite a while once the seed germinates for me to figure out what I've planted. So I try and be good about making my label before I go any farther. So the first thing I do is I put the date, and that's the date I started it, and just put a quick note. Sometimes I use the back of the planting label to write something like how many days to harvest, something like that I might want to know later on in case I lose the seed packet. But I'll go ahead and put it in here. And then one thing that I didn't show is I will use my telephone just to take a picture of the front of the seed packet and the back of the seed packet, which gives you all kinds of really good information, where you buy it from, how many days to harvest, all of that good stuff, just in case, like I said, you lose the seed packet. You know, if you love that particular variety, you know where to go get it again. So earlier I mentioned the coconut coir as one of my supplies, but I did want to mention what it is. So coconut coir is the outside husks of coconut, and you can kind of see it's just a real fluffy, soilless mixture, and I find this the perfect thing to start my seedlings in. So once you have your seedlings started, you go ahead and just kind of move them and let them do their thing. And I have here a seed flat of zinnias that you can see they have germinated and they are ready for the next step. They're getting leggy, which is just kind of tall and thin, and like this one is falling over. So it's definitely time to put them into the next size container. I really like these seed flats because you can just kind of pop them up from the bottom, which keeps all of the roots intact. I'm going to go ahead and put them over here. So I move my seedlings from the coconut coir into a pot with well-draining potting soil. So I wanted to go ahead and show you an example of the next progression after you've put it in this smaller pot. So I have here some garlic chives in this smaller pot, and I can show you the next size up pot, which is like a quart size pot. And I do have to tell you, these were the same size just 2 or 3 days ago. I replanted this one in preparation for the video, and you can see it has already gone crazy. So it's good to progressively get larger pots just to allow more roots to develop, and you just get stronger and more sturdy plants. So now that I've kind of showed you my steps for starting seedlings and getting them ready to go out into your garden, I'm going to go over a few post-care tips. So the first post-care tip is watering. So watering is always a big question that people have. How much do I water? How little do I water? How often do I water? So one of the key things to remember is that you really can't overwater a seedling as long as you use something to plant it in that drains really well. So I think I stressed that when we were filling the pots with our potting soil, but really any well-draining soil, you can't go wrong. And you'll know it's well-draining because you'll put some water in and it will pretty quickly come out the bottom. That is what you want. You don't want water standing in the planter. So another common question about seedlings is fertilizing. What I like to use is a liquid seaweed. It's a real gentle fertilizer. And my second secret weapon is just a shot glass. And I follow the instructions on the back of the fertilizer container, and I don't pour generously. I, if anything, mix it a little bit more diluted than it suggests. As these seedlings grow, I can't wait to show you in our next video how to harden off your transplants and then plant them into a raised garden bed. If you ever have any backyard gardening questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. In the meantime, stay tuned, and remember, with just a little bit of guidance, you can easily find your inner farmer.